This is a blend door actuator. Not very expensive, looks pretty innocent, but it's not innocent. It's evil. Hi everybody, and welcome to Photomikes Garage. And welcome to a day that I have been avoiding. Well, it is a nice sunny day, so I'm not avoiding a sunny day, but I am avoiding working on that car right there. My 2009 Crown Vic Police Interceptor. I'd rather be polishing this car, making it look nice, but instead I'm going to be doing the blend door actuator. Yes, yay, yay. I've been avoiding installing this little guy. This little piece of plastic is about to cause me a lot of pain. This is a blend door actuator. Not very expensive, looks pretty innocent, but it's not innocent. It's evil. It's evil because it's located deep underneath the dash of the Crown Vic, and it's extremely hard to reach. You got to contort your body, you've got to scratch your hand to get it in there. If you go to the Ford dealer, they're going to tell you to remove the entire dash. That's going to cost $500, $600, $700, $900 to get it done. And of course, I can't pay that. I'm Scottish, and there's no way that I'm going to pay that price to get that done. Instead, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to cause myself pain and suffering to save money. And I'm going to take you along the journey, along the way. You will be on your couch and you'll be laughing at my pain. That's fine. Just please like and subscribe. Okay, first step is to disconnect the battery. As we're going to be removing the airbag to make access easy, and we don't want that blowing up in our faces. Strangely, Ford uses 8mm nuts to secure the battery cables. Let's undo the negative. Battery's disconnected. Now it's safe to work on the airbag. Now you want to wait 10 minutes for any residual electrical stuff that might be floating around the car to be gone first. Let's take out the glove box. The first thing you gotta do is take out these bolts right here. These are 7mm bolts. We'll just take these guys out. Just push in the sides like that. Glove box comes straight out. Another thing that can help you gain access is taking off this trim right here. It comes out easy, as you can see. Comes out real easy. And then we just have to disconnect a couple of connectors here. Got one here, and you got one right there. Now let's take off the airbag. Okay, to remove the airbag, I've taken out two 7mm bolts, one there, and two 8mm bolts, one there, and one there. Yes. Okay, now we have to carefully disconnect it. Okay, and this last connector, which is kind of hard to maneuver, you got to push a little lever tool in here, pry tool. If you push it in, and then it'll come out. Oh, okay, this is quite heavy. Airbag has been removed. Now we got more room, but we still got stuff in the way. We got this duct. And the way to get that out is by removing this. Now there's a secret screw right behind here, which is hard to reach. You got to take that screw out. If you don't, you're going to be cracking plastic. And that is a 7mm. Take this guy out. Got it out. That was a nasty one. There's another one right back here. See? Right back here. Come on out. Another bolt. Okay, now the duct is loose. Now the duct is loose, but can we get it out? Okay, I got the duct out. It was extremely difficult. I had to lever up this harness to sort of make it more flexible. I had to sort of push this down, push it all the way over, and then just sort of pull it out. It's going to be a heck of a job to get this back in. Now we can see from here what we're working on, and that's this right here. Okay, can you see that? That is the blend door actuator right there. We can see one bolt really easy, but all the other bolts are hard to get to. This is the problem. This is our problem. This is why people have to spend a lot of money to get this replaced. Tab and pull up. There, electrical connectors off. Okay, so you can see that first bolt's no problem getting that off. Just go in here, and there you go. Okay, so as you can see, it's going to be really hard to reach the bolts on the far side, the back, and everything else. This one's easy, everything else is hard. How am I going to do that? Well, I've got a secret weapon here, and my secret weapon is named Liam.
Hi.
Okay, with his fairly small hands and fingers, he can get back there and do this work for me. Right, Liam?
Yep.
Okay, so get to work. Go, 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 go. While Liam does the work, I'm going to have a cup of coffee and relax and watch cartoons. All right, so the rumors are true. It can't be done. So just give up now and stop watching this video. Okay, just joking. Actually, I never give up. I always win eventually. But even with my secret weapon, I couldn't get the bolts on the front of the blend door actuator, and I can loosen, but can't really get the bolt on the back. So you got two choices. You can either move the dash forward, like undo the dash bolts, lever it forward just a little bit just to give you enough room to get in and get those 8mm bolts off, or you can take a chisel and hammer and break off the old blend door actuator. Once you break it off, you can then loosen the bolts and then slot the new one. You can put slots in the new connector, so you just push it in and just do one bolt and tighten what you can. That's one way to do it. I would prefer to be able to take the 8mm bolts off completely. I think that would be the most secure way to reinstall the blend door, the new one. So I'm going to try and move the dash forward just a little bit and see if that works. Now, as you can see, I've already levered this up. You can put a little pry stick in there, lever this up, and that exposes a small bolt here, a small bolt here, and a small bolt there. 3 bolts. And then right behind here, as you can see, there's another nut right there. Undo those, and I should be able to move these just slightly forward, enough to give me access to these 8mm bolts. Let's see if that's true. Okay, so now we can lever this out right in there. Okay, so now you can see what we're dealing with here. We've got the one bolt to the back, got that bolt right there. We've got to find a way to get a ratchet on that. That did the trick, I got it out. So moving the dash forward is the answer to getting this 8mm bolt out. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet. We have almost got it done. We just got the one at the back to do, and I still can't reach that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break off the tabs. Okay, this is the result of my prying. Unfortunately, I sort of made a mistake, so don't make the same mistake. I did loosen this screw quite a bit, so it got to the point where the old one was up against the bulkhead in there, so I couldn't actually pry it loose to break this part loose. Couldn't pry it loose. So I started prying up down here, and that pulled on this whole thing and pulled the whole thing up. So that's not the way to do it. Okay, so I got some plastic glue on this, and we're going to put it back in place and hope that that sets will be strong enough to hold it. Okay, it's the next day, and I don't know if you can see, but I've glued that piece in, and I let it sit overnight. Everything's dry, and I'm hoping that that's going to be strong enough. Really am hoping. As you can also see, I cut out the back tabs so that they'll just slide in. It's going to slide in, and then I'll be able to get these 2 front screws in, no problem. And then I will also be able to tighten down this screw. Now this one just has a stud that it fits over. There's no screw there, so I think we're ready to put this thing back in. What do you think, Monique? I'm hoping it's in position now. It took a lot of doing, back and forth. I should be able to get those 2 nuts in, and then tighten the one at the back just a little bit. Take up the space, but the main holding feature will be the 2 front screws. Let's put the screws in and start working on tightening them up. This one's relatively easy, but once this is in place, I'm hoping that I'll be able to get the far one in. Now let's try and get the far one in. Is it on? I can't really see. Maybe you can see better. There you go. Okay, there you go. The two front nuts are tight. There's one nut at the back that's still not super tight, but I can't make it tight, but it's holding the back in place as it is. So everything is in place. I just got to do the electrical connector, and the blend door actuator is installed. Wow, that was tough. Did you hear that click? It's in. It's done. It's done. Hands are destroyed, but the job is done. What a relief to have this job done. I feel so good right now, despite some of the problems, despite my breaking of some of the heater ducting there, or whatever you want to call it. I think it's going to work just fine now. Wow, what a job. And I just saved myself $500, $600, $700, or $800 or more. So this is definitely something you should do yourself. Okay, while it's still fresh in my mind, I'd like to say what you've got to do here. You cannot get to these two bolts. Well, you can get to one bolt, no problem, this one. But the other bolt down there, you can't really get to it without taking the dash forward a little bit. Not out, just forward. You take off the trim piece here, comes off easy. There's 1, 2, 3 bolts, that's it. And then one bolt right here. You take that out and you'll be able to move it forward gently, 2 or 3 inches, get a piece of wood, hold everything in place, and then you'll be able to get your ratchet to do the far one. After you've taken off the 2 front bolts, you'll be able to lever up the blend door actuator and break off the rear tab, just the one rear tab. And then after you've removed the old blend door, you'll be able to see the screw that's at the back and get it out as well if you wish. But what I would do is I would just loosen it a little bit, and then as I did, you slot the rear tabs so that they will slide over that screw and the pin at back, and then place them in position in the front and just use the 2 front screws to hold everything together. It is very secure. I've tried moving it with my hand, it will not move. It is in place. Okay, all I have to do is reverse the steps. I've got to put the dash back in, and then of course the airbag has to go in, and then the glove box, and we are done. Okay, all I have to do is reverse the steps. I've got to put the dash back in, and then of course the airbag has to go in, and then the glove box, and we are done. And then of course I test it to see if it'll work. Now it might be an idea, I'm just saying, an idea to test it before you put everything back together to make sure that everything's working, because you'll be able to see right here if it's moving. So that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna test it first before we put everything back together. Yeah. Okay, now we're on hot. We're gonna go to cold now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It works. Okay, as expected, the new blend door, of course, does work. Everything is working as expected. Okay, we have to put the dash back in, but I think that'll be much easier to put in this air duct while the dash is out. This is the evil duct that must go back in. Next thing to install is the airbag. And again, make sure your battery is disconnected before you try to install an airbag. All right, there you have it. Hard to believe that one little piece of plastic could cause me so much pain. But think of the money I've saved by doing it myself. And if I can do it, you can do it. All right, thanks for watching Photomikes Garage. I will see you next time. Look at my hands, they're destroyed. Ugh.